So great to see you, and thank you for making time.
Thanks for having me. It's great to see you guys. When I see these two lovely faces, I know it's basketball season, and that's a good thing. It's great to see both of you, and good to be with both of you today. Thanks for having me.
It's
Oh,
a Friday
Nelly.
afternoon. Yeah, and we get to talk basketball with Shanele Stires. I mean, how lucky are Tammy and I? This is so cool.
I think I'm the lucky one. It's really good to see you guys talking Big West hoops and Cal Poly hoops with two of the best doing it. So appreciate you guys having me.
Oh.
What do you got dished up for us this year, Coach? You always have so much enthusiasm coming into the season, but you are so unpredictable. Upset here, upset there, business as usual. What's the season got in store for Cal Poly?
Well, interestingly enough, I think this is kind of one of those reinventive years. We have a really young roster, which is exciting and also a little bit nerve wracking, just from the standpoint of, they don't know what they don't know. So we've been trying to educate them in every way, shape, and form about what it's like competing at this level. But I'm definitely excited about seeing what they can do. We've really focused on pace of play, and I think that that's been really fun to experiment with. I think in the past couple years, you've seen a lot of ball movement, a lot of player movement, a lot of side to side action, a lot of inside out. Playing with folks like Natalia Ackerman, Annika Shaw, where you've got that really inside out dual threat. This group's going to give you a little bit more of a positionless feel. Um, and I do think, and again, it's you mentioned it. It's early on in the season, so I'm being really hopeful right now. I'd like to play a lot of kids. I think we've got some really nice depth, and getting those kids seasoned early and really seeing what we can do, and then hopefully trying to really play our best basketball in March.
Coach, there's a kind of a theme that we've heard today on this preview show that pace and being able to create chaos and positionless. I like the way that you threw that in. I think that that's important. I mean, I think people need to know how to play. I don't want to say out of position. If they just need to be able to play multiple positions, right? They got to step up and play different roles. But what is that about pace and being able to run and create chaos and make your opponents uncomfortable that you have seen that has led to victories and success in your very long term coaching career and playing not only at college but at the professional level?
I think you're seeing a real genesis happen where even at the highest level, when I think you guys were talking a little bit about the WNBA earlier, and you look at the Asia Wilsons of the world, you look at like the multidimensionality of a skill set, Alyssa Thomas. When you think about the highest levels, you think about players that can go inside and out and that can attack facing up, can shoot the three. And I think what's happened in the last several years is I think there's been a real genesis of shooting the ball and being able to stretch the floor. And I think kids want to play fast. And I think that when you do open up maybe what you do and you're able to play with a little bit more pace, it also allows you to play more people. And I think that that's ultimately, uh, you know, when you're trying to really build culture, it's tough to do it when you're playing six or seven kids and you're walking the ball up the floor. But when you can play, kids 8, 9, 10, and who knows, maybe even 11 and 12 a little bit, I think that really goes a long way, not only in making sure fresh, because we know that the Big West is a gauntlet, but we also know that that tournament is a gauntlet in and of itself. And so, the excitement that the 3 point line I think has brought us has definitely continued to see changes in the way that Matt, the way that they put in their offense. But I think the other piece of it is the way that the game is officiated. Um, the way that the game is officiated has kind of trickled down to now where moving screens are very recurrent. The travel calls are very recurrent. So if you can get the ball up the floor and get more possessions during the course of a game. Not only is it I think more exciting for your kids to play, I think it's more exciting for your fan base, and I think it also really allows for less game stoppage because you're probably not going to be screening as much. You're not going to be doing some of the things that I think in the past have maybe slowed the game down a little bit.
Quick follow up to that. I mean, you want to play with pace and you want to do chaos, and you also said that you want to play a deep roster. You're going to have a deeper roster to be able to play like that because you're going to need legs. Those players are going to go in and play minutes. Do you have that roster? Are you liking what you see in the summer and in the fall that you feel like you can really deliver on that,
Yeah.
and that's going to bring you success?
Well, we're talking about it. I think we're going to find out a whole lot here in the next couple of weeks. I think going against somebody else is certainly going to be very informative,
Fun.
and I think that's where we're at. I think is as coaches, we've got to be really flexible, especially here early on with a young team. And I don't want to give myself an easy out because certainly I know what we want to do, I know what we need to do, but that's the plan right now. That's the intention, and we've got some really young kids that I'm excited about, and I think seeing what they can do against other seasoned Division I vets is going to be really, really exciting here in the preseason. But
Coach,
Tammy, you said chaos. You said chaos. I didn't say chaos. You said chaos.
I did say chaos. I think it's chaos.
I watched you coach last year in the Big West Championship, and you guys go and take it to UC Santa Barbara. And even though there was a bit of chaos, there was a belief. And I really thought that belief was they were feeding off of you because you have this air of confidence, whether it's from playing pro or coaching on so many different time zones and coaching some elite athletes. It was like they believed because you believed. And when you say I've got a young team, I'm like, yeah, well, Shanele's just going to do it again. I mean, they're all just going to believe what she believes because they'll buy into her system. Is that kind of part of your leadership style as a head coach?
Yeah, I think that I appreciate that compliment. That's really sweet and certainly thoughtful of yourself to say that. I do think that that's one of the things that I think, especially with athlete, you really have to engage them, I think, on a lot of different levels. And our staff does such a great job of helping me not only develop our players, but I think keeping them engaged through the course of a long season. As you guys know, this has really become a year-round thing. And I think especially with young players, the gauntlet of the season sometimes can be a little bit, a little bit of a grind. And so, for lack of a better word, we've got to be innovative as coaches and flexible as coaches to really meet them where they're at, to not only challenge them to grow and to learn and to develop, but, to maintain, I think, a certain level of belief in what we're doing and kind of keeping their eyes on the prize. And so we do a lot of different things in our program that I'm really proud of, and our culture building and our team building are certainly centered to that. And I think that's what I think gives us a lot of that energy that I think that you feel when you watch our teams play.
So when you head to Henderson, Nevada, because you've earned a chance to go there, and it's not automatic, by the way, you gotta earn that. Not every team goes. I guess what are you reminding your student athletes at that time? Because getting there is a byproduct of what they did in summer, fall, non-conference, and conference, and now they're in postseason, and then hopefully going to postseason, right?
That's right. That's certainly the goal. What we do is we try to conjure up our best Elvis Presley. We'll bring the Viva Las Vegas. We'll bring all the fun music into practice for warm-ups, and then we might even get some cards out. We might even get some dice out, and we'll just start talking about you got to bet on yourself. And I do think that at the end of the day, that's what makes college athletics so fun and so special, is that you're dealing with young people that are kind of on the verge of adulthood and navigating all those things, and so you get to be along for the ride with that. And you got to remember, they're 18 to 22. And so if you can figure out innovative and fun ways to keep it fun and be creative, I do think that makes that makes it really worthwhile. So like we'll before we do a scouting report, in February, we might do a Bellagio scene from Ocean's 12 or excuse me, Ocean's 11. So we're constantly trying to figure out ways to not only motivate them but engage them but make it fun. And who doesn't want to look at clips of Brad Pitt and George Clooney? I mean,
Right.
two handsome fellas, and who knows? And so like when we got over there last year, we promised them, hey, if we do our job and we make it to Henderson, we're gonna take you guys out on the strip, and we're gonna walk around and have a nice meal and enjoy the sights and scenes that it offers. And I think that's another thing that I think keeps it really fun. 2 years ago, don't tell anybody this, I'm gonna let the cat out of the bag with a Cal Poly secret. We took them to Carrot Top at the Luxor, and let's
Only
just
Shanele
say,
Stires taking the
yeah,
team to Carrot Top.
and let's just say, I had my moments where I wondered if this was a good idea or not. But the laughs that we get, with the players that were part of our program at that time, and just the memory of everybody sharing that experience was truly something special. And we're certainly looking forward to making that happen again this year.
Are there 2 tickets at Will Call in Henderson, Nevada for Elvis? I just wanted to know if there was 2 tickets waiting for him at Will Call.
Well, interestingly enough, Tammy, 3 years ago, we stayed at the Westgate, which is the old International Hotel, which is where he did his Vegas residency in the late 60s and the early 70s. And so, when you walk into the Westgate and you're going in past checkout, there's a big statue of Elvis. And so we took the team over here, and we talked a little bit about, that this was one of those places that was really iconic and kind of built Las Vegas for what it's worth. So it was a little bit of a history lesson. It was pretty funny, because I don't think
Now,
most of our athletes know too much about Elvis.
no, and now home to Barry Manilow. There will be a Barry Manilow statue in the Westgate, by the way. 'Cause that's his residence.
That's right.
Shanele Stires, it is always so much fun to spend time. We could just be here like into the weekend because you're so
All day.
colorful, so positive, and it's no wonder you're a successful coach. Thank you so much for spending time with Tammy Blackburn and I.
Thanks for having me. And I just want you guys to know we really appreciate the work that you guys do, not only behalf of Tough Like Tammy and breast cancer awareness, but just the beacon of light you guys are for our game. We really, really appreciate the work that you guys do, and the platform that the Big West has given both of you and myself included. So appreciate you guys, and have a good season. Look forward to seeing you guys down the road.
All right.
Thank you, Coach.